Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Friday Night Comics. Hi, Jim. How's everybody out there doing? Hope you're doing well. Today's going to be probably a little bit shorter of a show. I'm going to join Frosted Glass on his channel to be offensive and say offensive things. So you can look for me over on Frosted Glass's channel for the corner. But in the meantime, let's talk about some news. First, the awful stuff. The truly, truly awful things that are going on. And the first one I would like to go with, of course, let's get the awful stuff out of the way. This is from Variety. Sonny Chiba, martial arts legend and Kill Bill actor, dies at 82 of COVID complications. Sonny Chiba is a legend, the original Street Fighter. Shinchi Sonny Chiba, the Japanese actor and martial arts legend. These are two of his worst movies, was Kill Bill and Fast and Furious. Why are you listing those? He was in much better movies. Died on Thursday, his agent confirmed. He was 82. Chiba's career in film and television spanned from the 1960s through the 2010s, and he appeared in countless Japanese titles, in addition to a handful of garbage American films. I'm paraphrasing. In many of his projects, he showcased his expert martial arts skill and went on to choreograph fight scenes later in his career. Born Sadaho Maeda in Fukuoka, Japan in 1939, he began learning martial arts while at the Nippon Sports Science University in 1957. He studied under karate master Mas Oyama, earned a first-degree black belt in 1965. Went on to play a trilogy of films, Champions of Death, Karate Bear Fighter, and Karate for Life in the late 70s. You're forgetting Street Fighter. He began his career in film and TV in 1960, taking on the name Shinchi Chiba. His first roles came on Japanese superhero shows Seven Color Mask, where he replaced the lead actor, and Messenger of Allah, where he played the main character. His first movie roles were a series of crime thrillers from Japanese director Kinji Fukasaku, with whom he had frequent collaboration, in the science fiction film Invasion of the Neptune Men in 1961. Invasion of the Neptune Men is a surprisingly fun cheese film. Hey, Kyler. Had to do some work on your car cleanup? Oh, that sucks. Yeah, I got to clean my kitchen. It's a disaster. So I get you. I got to clean my garage too, but I'm not going to. Hey, Rodline. Not a nice cat like Floofington, a mean little stray who hates people. Yep, they're like that. Yeah, Floofington's a little handful himself. He doesn't play well with others, but you feed them long enough and they'll come around a little bit. It's very slow going. So yeah, unfortunately we lost Sonny Chiba due to the Coof complications. That is a tragedy beyond measure. And it makes me sad. Because I like Sonny Chiba. So yeah, lost a martial arts legend from another 70s icon gone. Which just shows the future of film is looking worse and worse every day. Let's look at some other bad news. We'll get that out of the way. Fedora Guy, Jerry Messing, fights for his life after contracting the Coof. This is from the New York Post. Our hero, Tipsy Fedora, he's got the Coof. Actor Jerry Edward Messing, the famous face of the popular Fedora Guy internet meme, has been hospitalized after contracting the Coof. The health emergency began 2 days after the 35-year-old Freaks and Geeks actor. Nobody knows him for that. We all know him as Fedora Guy, who lives with his parents in Tampa, Florida, started feeling ill and struggling to breathe. His father, James Messing, told TMZ. While the Los Angeles native insisted he was fine at the time, his breathing problems persisted, prompting his dad to give him an oxygen test, and that led them to take him to the hospital because his oxygen was low. He was placed on a ventilator, which is not a good sign. The fact they did it pretty much immediately is pretty horrifying. So his blood oxygen must have been horrible. Maybe not be fat. I feel judged, but you're not wrong. Yeah, I'm not as fat as this dude, thankfully, but this should worry anyone that's overweight. Doesn't take off, may have to call the dog catcher. Yeah, that could be a real pain in the butt, Kyler. It's probably, I don't know where you live, but it's probably getting colder and he's looking for a place to hang out for winter. I can't say that, Jim, but probably not wrong. Got put on a ventilator, chances of getting off it are not good. That's very true. So he must have a pretty bad case. Is he 900 pounds? He looks pretty big. The celeb is perhaps most famous for spawning the viral Fedora Guy internet meme, which depicts the actor smiling and tipping his brimmed hat toward the camera. As I understand it, he did that as like some kind of joke photo, but it's hilarious and it never gets old. You can use that one for the next 50 years, I'm sure. It's his legacy. Whether he was on Freaks and Geeks is irrelevant. But yeah, he's a big boy. And the fact that he was having breathing problems at this size, probably not that uncommon, but considering what's going on in the world, it's probably best he goes and gets checked out. Oh, we'll get to that, Rodline. Hey, Ryan, how you doing? Yeah, so according to this, he'd been feeling ill. Jerry's parents also started to feel ill around the same time, despite both being fully vaccinated, according to the outlet. Fortunately, James has since tested negative, while Jerry's mom is still waiting results. Visitors are barred, of course. Where did I see that? There's something about him getting the jab in here. Oh, yeah. The poor soul has reportedly been diagnosed with the disease in between receiving his first and second Pfizer vaccinations. So, yeah, he had at least one shot, and he still is on a ventilator. So it's not looking good for poor Jerry here. And his size absolutely has something to do with that, I'm sure. Healthy at any size is a myth. I don't care what anyone says. But this is a tragedy for meme culture and pop culture in general. Hi, Tyrai. It's August in the Great Plains. Yeah, I'm in Ohio. We're experiencing a slight heat wave now. It's real sticky and muggy. And I hate it. It's one of the worst parts of Ohio is the end of summer. And time for your, get ready for your fourth and fifth one too. So yeah, poor Jerry here. Maybe a little less of this and a little more broccoli and a lot less of this would have been good. This looks like a birthday, obviously. Maybe his, I don't know. Maybe he just stole some kid's cake. But I hope he pulls through because Fedora Guy has given us all lots of entertainment over the years. And he's only 35. That's a rough way to go, man. So, yeah, Fedora Guy. Tip your fedora for Fedora Guy today, gentlemen and ladies. Yeah, exactly, Evil One. People's narratives don't get busted very easily these days. And this sort of thing will do it. Yeah, exactly, Kyler. It's a problem of your own making, so to speak, but it's still somebody's son. You know, his parents are probably fairly old now, but 35, man, that's a rough one. His parents are probably 60s, 70s. I got it this week. They sent half my office home and I took a test without him. Wow. That sucks, Tyra. I hope you're feeling okay. Get better. No being sick. It's not allowed. We need everybody around. In slightly less grim news, Disney's going to release Who Framed Roger Rabbit in 4K. Ultra HD. I'm excited about this, even though I don't have an HD 4K Ultra whatever device, because this movie's awesome. So there's the packaging, Ultimate Collector's Edition. If you haven't seen Who Framed Roger Rabbit, your life makes me sad. Not that old. Well, you started younger. There's just a synopsis. There's what the steel case version looks like. In a press release, Disney detailed the film will arrive in 4K for the first time on December 7th in stunning HDR picture quality and Dolby Atmos audio. There will also be an Ultimate Collector's Edition that includes a limited steelbook available only at Best Buy. I don't like these steelbook things because for some reason the plastic inserts make it very hard to get the disc out. I've never been able to get those out without coming close to cracking that thing in half. Hey, Merle. Oh, yeah, I like that guy's style, too. He's pretty cool. It's nicer that they're releasing it, but they're still not getting my money. Well, you know, if you get it as a gift or in other nefarious ways, that is not my concern. I am merely passing along the information that they are releasing this on December 7th. There are bonus features with the Roger Rabbit shorts. There are 3 total. I don't know if you guys remember these. They did these as like a publicity thing at the beginning of other movies. And one, I think, was at the beginning of the re-release of Roger Rabbit. It's been a while. But it was Tummy Trouble, Roller Coaster Rabbit, and Trail Mix It Up. And they're just silly little cartoons that were in the way of the old like Tom and Jerry cartoons. They were fun, though. But I liked Roger Rabbit, so I thought I'd share this because I thought it was cool. There's going to be other features, too, before and after. Split screen showing the live actors and animators, and then the special effects. And I like a lot of those bonus features. Hey, Evolved, how you doing, man? Yeah, I saw it at the theater, too. My dad took me to see it, and we had a great time. That was a fun time. We didn't get to hang out much around that time because he was working a lot. All right, as soon as my internet catches up. The jokes in that won't sit well with the blue hair. Oh, they never do. They're a bunch of whiners. We got to really get past that crap. Hey, Oki, how you doing, man? All right. Next article. Never really Roger. A bit too old for me. Yeah, I'm not surprised, but it's probably a generational thing. But we grew up with like the Looney Tunes stuff, and it was kind of a throwback to that. And Christopher Lloyd was in it. Evil One, that wouldn't surprise me. Hopefully they'll do an uncut version, though. Yeah, Kyler, they don't have those anymore. Those are an artifact of the past. All right, according to Bounding Into Comics, new Power Rangers event series announced titled The Power Ranger Universe. I do like this art. This is really well done. Now, I have no idea who this is because I'm way behind on my Power Rangers reading. But their Power Rangers books from Boom have been really, really good. So Boom announced a new Power Rangers event series titled Power Rangers Universe. In a press release making the announcement, Boom details that the series will delve into the deepest origins of the Power Rangers, explored hidden secrets of the universe like never before. It's a lot of Red Rangers. And some hot fisting action. Not communism, hopefully. Should focus heavily on the Phantom Ranger and his true origin. He's been in several of the newer stuff, as I recall. The official description reads, what is the true origin of the Phantom Ranger and what is his connection to the Morphin Grid? From the moment he first appeared 24 years ago, fans have wondered about the origins of this powerful and mysterious Phantom Ranger and how they tie to the greater Power Ranger universe. It adds questions which have never been answered until now in this game-changing series event that no Power Ranger fan can afford to miss. I know a lot of you guys are in this age demographic, and my nephew loves Power Rangers, so figured we should probably talk about this. Boom Studios senior editor Daphne Pleben provided some more details from the very start of our partnership with Hasbro to bring the Power Rangers to life on the comic book page. We always knew that we wanted to explore the many more phenomenal teams and worlds of the Power Ranger universe. Pleben added, now thanks to the incredible success of the ongoing series and the enthusiastic support of fans and readers, We're realizing that years-long dream by delving into the untold stories that fans have been clamoring for. Now, this series actually sells better than some Marvel books, and it's definitely better written. So it doesn't surprise me that they're doing another event. They did not reveal who will be writing this series, but they did note the series will feature artwork from Simone Ragazzoni. The series will feature a main cover by Dan Mora. Dan Mora's a pretty decent artist. It will feature variant covers by Miguel Mercado, Joni Montez, and Inhook Lee. They also hinted that there will be more variant covers. I don't give a fuck about variant covers. So this is coming out in December. That's an interesting cover. So Power Rangers fans, rejoice. You're getting another big event like Necessary Evil and Shattered Grid. Should be pretty fun stuff. Oh, that's Power Ranger equivalent to Excelsior. Keep it mysterious. They can't do that anymore. Oh, hey, Deckfish. Oh, yeah, no problem, man. Advice is free. You get what you pay for. Wish I could have gotten the Mighty Morphin action figures. There's a whole new line of action figures out there, Tyler. Hey, Viking. So, yeah, if you're looking for Power Ranger action figures, they still make them. And they make some of the classic ones. And they re-released some of the old sculpts from Bandai, I think it was, that were around like 30 years ago. 20 years ago, whatever. That they were kind of neat, but they were kind of blocky and chunky, I guess. So, yeah, if you ever want to get some of those, they do still make Power Ranger figures. They're a little pricey, in my opinion, but most things are because I'm a cheapskate. Poverty will do that. But you can find them at like Target and Walmart and any big box store. Dropped a like, but listening to you know running in the background. Oh, cool. Thanks, Spud Gun. Lightning Collections. Too bad there's some paint issues. I've noticed that, but if you're just going to display it, I don't really think it's going to be a big deal. I think little kids would be more upset about it than the adults. All right, and now we got some interesting news on a topic I'm interested in because all these are. According to comicbook.com, Rob Zombie's Munsters reboot reveals update on Mockingbird Lane House. Pre-production on Rob Zombie's big screen reboot of the Munsters continues, and another update from the set has been revealed in the form of construction of the family's iconic home. Rob Zombie took to social media to reveal progress made on 1313 Mockingbird Lane for the new film, showing off the skeleton of the house that's built for the film. Big news, direct from the set of the Munsters. Zombie posted on Instagram. Construction on the Munsters house has officially begun. Stay posted for more updates as the icon structure returns to life. Yeah, he should have just built an entire house because that'd be cooler. Filming on Rob Zombie's The Munsters is set to take place in Budapest, Hungary, but when cameras will begin rolling and who will star in the film is yet to be confirmed. It seems like almost a given that Sherry Moon Zombie will have a part in the film. The fan guesses she will play Lily Munster. That'd be a weird casting choice, as the actress who has previously appeared in all her husband's movies. I think she'd be better as like the nosy neighbor or something. Other teases from Zombie about the upcoming movie have shown off the entire street that they've constructed for the house, as well as the floor plan for the estate. The combo of Rob Zombie and the Munsters may not seem like that makes much sense from the outside. Yeah, it makes total sense if you've ever seen any of Zombie's artwork. He's obviously a fan. Robbie Zombie's hit miss for me. My thoughts on the reboot are but why? Because he can, Kyler. And most of the reboots for the Munsters has been shit. So maybe this will be good. Who knows? Yeah, his song Dragula is a reference to the Munsters. No, it's not going to let me open that. Another behind-the-scenes tease from Zombie for the upcoming movie came from his special effects creator, Wayne Toth, who's... I don't care about that. Originally debuted in 1964. There's no release date on this, but it's allegedly supposed to come out in 2022. And I am actually looking forward to it. Sherry could be Cousin It. That's the wrong show, dude. That was Adam's Family. But that would be funny. I don't hate the idea either, because the chick that originally played Lily Munster was actually pretty hot. All right. You guys want to see the pic? Here's 1313 Mockingbird Lane. That is the skeleton of it. It'll probably be done in a week, because building things like this is just a facade. They really don't have to build the entire interior. It won't take that long. So I'm interested to see how this goes. It's weird they're filming in Budapest. Like, they're building an entire fake town in Budapest rather than filming the States, which should tell you something about licensing fees and that sort of thing. So if they were smart, they would have just built the entire thing as actual homes and then just sold it all when they left, or left it as a tourist attraction to make money. When do facts get in the way of Hollywood? That's true. Yeah, it will make it faster because it is just a set. I mean, I've seen houses go up in like 2 weeks. So, yeah, she doesn't look bad for 50. So that should be pretty cool. I'm excited about that. Let's see if we can look at any of his other Instagram pictures without having to log in. Nah, it's just a bunch of other stuff. It doesn't really have anything to do with what we're looking at. So, yeah, it should be pretty cool. I'm excited by that. Now, I don't know if you guys knew, but the Shang Chi actor, Simu Liu, I don't know how to pronounce that, has been getting into it with Disney lately. And he's been kind of arguing with them over, kind of feeling like they gave up on him. 2 hours into building this record shuffle too. Sherry Moon Zombie. It's Rob Zombie's wife. That's true, Oki. But the costs must be astronomical to film in the States. It's ridiculous. Shouldn't cost that much. So, yeah, the Shang-Chi actor and Disney have been going around and around a little bit, because they kind of glossed over him in favor of the Eternals. And now he's firing back at Disney over experiment comments. This is from Cosmic Book News. When the star of the movie is attacking the studio, you know you're in big trouble. Just ask Scarlett Johansson and Black Widow. As Liu fires back at Disney CEO Bob Chapek about comments made about Marvel's Shang-Chi movie. With Black Widow tanking big time at the box office, in addition to every movie released as of yet failing, it's because they aren't any good. It has nothing to do with the Coof. See below. Disney has decided to release Shang-Chi digitally after only 45 days of being released in theaters. Disney did something similar for Black Widow, but instead of 45 days, they didn't wait as long and released it following a 30-day theatrical release. In a recent Disney investor call, Bob Chapek said releasing Shang-Chi would be an experiment, hinting its box office would bomb as well. From Dateline, as far as the theatrical window for the upcoming Labor Day weekend release of Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, Chapek called the 45-day frame for the pick before it hits Disney Plus an interesting experiment and another data point for the studio as it juggles theatrical releases with its streaming services. Bob Chapek's real big on data points, which means he doesn't give a shit about anybody. Your name recognition doesn't mean anything to him. Yeah, okay, more places need to give filming credits and discounts if they want them to go there and do it, because you're going to make all that money back in income tax and people spending money. Cleveland did that. They got the Avengers downtown fight scene was in downtown Cleveland. That was actually on my buddy's street. He watched a lot of it from his window on his lunch break. He'd just sit there and watch him do stuff. The comments did sit well with Liu, who fired back on social media. We are not an experiment. We are the underdog, the underestimated. We are the ceiling breakers. We are the celebration of culture and joy, and will persevere after an embattled year. We are the surprise. I'm fired the fuck up to make history on September 3rd. Join us. Oh boy, politics. You are not the underdog. You represent like most of the population of the world. Also, you look like a shitty martial artist. Shang Chi box office expected to be worst MCU movie. According to regarding the Shang-Chi box office, current estimates offer it will debut behind Black Widow's 80 million and will be the lowest box office debut ever, with only 35 to 55 million. Ant-Man opened at 57 million. What hurts Shang-Chi is that it's opening Labor Day weekend, where everybody will probably be involved in other activities. Again, probably dealing with mask mandates. Again, people not going to movie theaters has zero to do with the Coof, unlike Hollywood and its show media site or spinning things. And I tend to agree with that. I think that's the excuse, not a reason. These movies released haven't been any good, and that's why people aren't seeing them. It's claimed fans are afraid of movie theaters. No, they just don't want to go. Yeah, here's a picture of a sports arena. There's Billy Joel, yeah. Who is that? That's George Reichert. Yep, that's Goo Goo Dolls concert. Yeah, so nobody's afraid of going to see a movie if they're going in this kind of packed arena. You know, sports events, Kings of Leon show. And none of these people seem all that concerned. So, yeah, they're already prepping this to be a box office disaster, and they're just kind of accepting this movie's probably going to tank. Which, actually, this movie looks better than The Eternals by a long shot, because at least this looks like it's got a plot. Eternals just looked like a bunch of scenes glued together by characters they haven't explained where they went and why they weren't involved. They just sort of throw out some lame excuse. So I understand this guy's upset. He's doing it for the wrong reasons, though. He's trying to claim racism, but it's not. They're Darkwing Duck. Hey, James. I haven't watched the Megadeth started their tour today. Oh, they're still touring? Yeah. Yeah, a lot of this stuff just looks garbage, and it's more politics. Yeah, he said he was glad to bring an inspirational Asian character into movies. Apparently, he never heard of Bruce Lee. Like Bruce Lee, the cultural phenomenon, who I think is mainly overrated because he did the same 8 moves over and over again. Like he had the Black Widow effect where everybody's like, oh, Scarlett Johansson's so awesome. No, she does the same moves every time. She does a thing where she wraps her legs around some dude's neck and knocks him to the ground. It's the same handful of moves every time. And it was the same thing with Bruce Lee. But he was a cultural phenomenon, whether we liked it or not. And he was way more inspirational than anything this asshole is going to do. Same with Jet Li. Huge cultural phenomena, both in this country and overseas. Jackie Chan, same thing. You are not the first at doing this, dude. You're not even the first martial artist to be doing this. No, they don't count Oki. He's just ignoring all those others. There just aren't any movies out there that I want to see. Yeah, none of these are really worth going and paying $20 to see. Because, yeah, Chow Yun Fat, absolutely. Mickey Mouse. If you get that reference, you've seen too many Asian films. Yeah, Kyler, he was fast because he mastered this handful of moves. And that's what he did. He was just mastering a set number of moves. The rest of his moves were pretty average. But he did the same ones, and they look great on film. Chuck Norris, they don't count him because he's got the wrong melanin content. Michelle Yeoh. Somebody asked me if who was the oldest woman I'd bang, and I said Michelle Yeoh. Yeah, Pat Morita. There's been a ton of great Asian actors. Yep, same thing, Evil One. Yep, no great female movies before Wonder Woman. Yeah, never mind Ripley. Never mind Fay Ray. They don't know history. That's one of the problems with the people doing these commentaries is they don't even know the history of what they're talking about, whether it's comic books or film history. They don't know it. They just assume they're breaking some kind of glass ceiling, which is ridiculous. Look, maybe people weren't treated that great in the past, but they were still out there working. Yeah, Lucy Liu. Michelle Yeoh's hotter, though. She's still hot. It's a hot old lady. This Victor Wang, he was great in Tremors. Yeah, well, I mean, we even talked about Sonny Chiba at the beginning of the stream. May he rest in peace. Sonny Chiba was awesome. I knew a bunch of people that loved Street Fighter. You could mention Sonny Chiba and people would be like, oh, the dude from Street Fighter? Yeah, that movie is awesome. And then the normies would be like, oh, that guy in Kill Bill? Oh, shut up. Get out. Big Bad Mama. Yeah, right? People don't realize that most Asian martial arts look great, but aren't actually that good in a real fight. Yeah, it depends on what the situation is and who you're going up against, like any fighting style. You could be the greatest fighter in your art, but you go up against somebody with a different style, and you probably could lose. Victor Wong and James Hong in the same movie with Kurt Russell. Yeah. Big Trouble in Little China is a fucking great movie. Angie Dickinson. George Takei, yeah. The Asian chick from Mandalorian. Oh, man. She's not even as old as Michelle Yeoh. That's Ming-Na Wen. She played Mulan. I'd make her sing for me. But yeah, she's hot too. Hey, old guy. How you doing? How's it going? Hey, Camel. Yeah, you're not wrong, Kyler. All right, let's talk about probably the most annoying thing that I'm already sick of and have been since its inception. Johnny Depp is allowed libel suit against Amber Heard despite UK ruling. It's from the Hollywood Reporter. Virginia judge won't let an English libel judgment stop the actor's case in America due to key differences. Yeah, we're not British. How's that for a key difference, you fucking idiots? He's looking horrible. He looks like Steven Tyler's kid. Or Steven Tyler and Keith Richards had a baby together. If he had bigger lips, he would look more like Steven Tyler. But he's got that same like wrinkly old man thing where he just suddenly hit the wall and now he's all wrinkly. And Amber Heard looks like she's going to hold somebody for ransom. Like if she had shorter hair and looked a little more manly in the face, I'd think she was in Kabul right now. Despite a devastating legal loss in the UK that has derailed his acting career, and it has, Johnny Depp will get a second libel trial to show that he did not physically abuse his ex-wife Amber Heard. On Tuesday, a Virginia judge ruled that the decision last November of Depp's suit against the publisher of The Sun did derail his second case against Heard over an op-ed published in the Washington Post. Well, it was published here in the U.S. in a U.S. paper. They're both U.S. citizens. So, yeah, that's not surprising. Heard is being sued in that latter case over a December 2018 column where she wrote, I became a public figure representing domestic abuse, and I felt the full force of our culture's wrath for women who speak out. No, you didn't. Everybody supported you until they found out you lied. That suit in Virginia was expected to make it to trial first, but thanks to delays, Depp's UK case got that honor. In the UK, the actor was sued over an article that had called him a wife beater, and the trial lasted weeks. The judge found substantial truth to the article in The Sun, specifically with regards to 14 incidents that happened during the troubled marriage. The ruling, which Depp was unsuccessful in overturning on appeal, left him in an atypical position of arguing he didn't get everything he wanted in the country, which has long been known for libel tourism since the burden of proof is on the defendant and public figures needn't show actual malice. Yeah, the UK's got some goofy-ass laws. In turn, Heard argued that the Virginia court should recognize the UK judgment. Nope, fuck off. And since both actions centered on whether Depp was a domestic abuser, declare the matter already adjudicated. That's not how it works, honey. In an opinion on Tuesday, Fairfax County Judge Penny somebody or other rejected Heard's notion because of the lack of privity. While Heard may have argued that her interests were aligned with The Sun, the judge says those interests weren't identical. The Sun's interests were based on whether the statements the newspaper published were false, she writes. Heard's interests relate to whether the statements she published were false. In examining whether the US and UK have judicial systems to the extent that Depp should be able to relitigate his claim of not being a domestic abuser, the judge later notes that Heard's wasn't a party to the UK case and wasn't subject to the same discovery rules. In fact, defendant could not have been named a defendant in the UK litigation because her allegedly defamatory statements were made after the UK action commenced. Somebody screwed up. This is also important because of the hearing last month. Heard's lawyer argued that if Virginia didn't accept the UK judgment, there would be nothing to stop Depp from bringing new cases anytime any publication repeated word that he was a wife beater. Yeah, because they're still saying something wrong. As for Heard's argument for a chilling effect for not recognizing the UK ruling, what's-her-face judge points to how the UK had a more favorable climate for defamation plaintiffs. If anything, upholding English libel judgments in the United States would create a chilling effect and could create dangerous precedent. Yeah, because we're not the UK. We have different laws. Don't defame people if you don't want to get sued. She's pretty, but meanwhile she's hitting him and not him hitting her. That's what it sounds like. She was representing him just from the abuser's side. You're not wrong. I would use drunken uncle. No worries, Random. Glad you're here. Hey, Atheist, how you doing? All right. She admitted to it as well. That helps. Well, it's recorded, I think. Isn't it? It was on some recording that he obtained. Let's talk about Disney getting sued yet again. This is from CBR. Lawsuit puts Disney's Deadpool Guardians of the Galaxy profits at risk. A judge is allowing a lawsuit by a special effects company against Disney to move forward after rejecting Disney's argument that it's impossible to connect the profits of the film to the special effects software that was allegedly stolen from the company. Whoopsie. The suit is about allegedly stolen software by a company called Reardon that involves its MOVA special effects technology, a technology that allows the capture of an actor's facial expressions and translates them into digital imagery. Oh, this does affect the movie quite a bit. This allegedly stolen technology was used in a number of films, including 3 films currently under Disney's ownership, including Guardians of the Galaxy, Beauty and the Beast, and Deadpool. Obviously, Deadpool's alleged use of stolen technology took place before Disney purchased Fox, so the alleged stolen technology was apparently used by a number of different film studios, not just Disney. The judge's decision currently at issue is Disney's attempt to get the case dismissed under an argument that Reardon could not actually prove financial damages, as how they could prove that its special effects technology had a specific effect on the box office success of those films. I think that is self-explanatory, Disney. That's a shitty argument. If your special effects look like garbage, it's going to really affect the film. The judge in this case turned down the argument, noting this non-speculative evidence supports Reardon's theory of a causal nexus between the infringement and profits from Beauty and the Beast, Guardians of the Galaxy, and Deadpool. As to these films, it would be reasonable for the jury to infer from Reardon's evidence that defendants advertised their use of MOVA and used MOVA-based clips in the film trailer in order to drive interest in the films and thereby increase film profits. To show a causal nexus to indirect profits, there must be evidence that the infringing product is a causal factor, but it need not be the sole causal factor. Good on the judge. He's right. Whether they like it or not, they're going to get sued over this. The judge found Reardon's arguments convincing, that there were special behind-the-scenes footage used to advertise the film that highlighted the special effects, and that the commercials for the film also bragged about the effects. I agree. Of course, this just means that the case won't be dismissed. It doesn't mean that Reardon will actually be able to prove the technology was stolen, or that will achieve any notable success in getting a cut of the profits. It could be that the court even finds in favor of Reardon, might determine that the cut of the profits is minimal. It just means the case will move forward. Yeah, but this is a big step for people that allegedly got ripped off. Now, Disney could probably go back and sue the people that did their special effects, unless these are the ones that stole, unless, they're people that work there stole the software. So yeah, this is going to get interesting. Disney's in a lot of lawsuits right now. The Scarlett Johansson one, this one. There was that lady that worked at Disney that got fired because she was blowing the whistle on them for cooking their books, supposedly. Yeah, okay, that's exactly what they should do, is just quietly settle this out of court. But they're known for not doing that. They would rather try and run you out of money, but with Disney having so much debt coming up soon, that may not work for them this time. And they are very terrible about paying royalties. Yeah, just ask Alan Dean Foster. Disney making irrational legal arguments? That could be a tactic to run people out of money, right? It's exactly what they're doing. Did it affect the box office for Black Panther? That's true, but they put their good stuff in there. That movie, just the special effects of Black. Christian Bale says there would be so much better films, so much more interesting stories if white dudes weren't running the Hollywood studios. Yeah, well, he's a wokeist, so that's not surprising. Yeah, the shoe's on the other foot this time. So, yep, they're getting sued by a lot of people, blood in the water sort of thing. And I expect more people to kind of jump on the lawsuit bandwagon the way things are going. All right, so let's look at some Simpsons toys. These are from Super7. And this comes to us from Comic Book Ultimate Figures. So we got a new space uranium rod, helmet, different heads, the ant farm, different hands. Super 7 has been expanding their line of premium 7-inch Ultimate figures in recent months to include new licenses like Silverhawks, G.I. Joe, and Disney. Now they're adding the Simpsons to the family of action figures. Deep Space Homer, Mo, Robot Itchy, Robot Scratchy, and Poochie. Below you'll find a breakdown of the figures. They look amazing. Absolutely love the episodic accessories they're included with. I agree, the accessories do look really cool. Deep Space Homer's figure is inspired by the episode where he goes to space, obviously. Pre-order for $54.99. So here's Mo with the panda. Got 4 sets of hands. That's pretty cool. The jar of pickles, the rag, the flaming Mo's, his apron, phone, and of course 2 heads. And here's Robot. That's Scratchy, right? Itchy. That's Itchy. Also $55. Itchy and Scratchy Land episode, yeah. There's Scratchy. And there's Poochie. They're made to order, which means you won't have to be patient with the release date. They're set to ship July 2022. But there's probably not going to be a lot of them around. So if you're interested in these, you should get on Super 7's site and order them as soon as you can, because they're not going to last. And they'll be very, very expensive once the first wave of them are out the door. So the Mo figure looks pretty good. Deep Space Homer is probably the best one, though. I don't really care about Itchy and Scratchy. All right, let's talk Doctor Who for a minute. There's a new Doctor Who comics miniseries coming out. This is from Bounding into Comics. New Doctor Who sees 2 doctors face off against the Bad Wolf Empress. Titan Comics announced a brand new Doctor Who series starring the 8th and 11th Doctors, as well as the return of Rose Tyler. Yeah, Paul McGann and Matt Smith. I didn't really like him. Paul McGann could have been really cool, but they didn't give him much of a chance. Series entitled Empire of the Wolf marks the 25th anniversary for the 8th Doctor and 11th anniversary for the 11th Doctor. Empire of the Wolf will see the 8th and 11th Doctor team up with Rose to defeat a brand new villain called Bad Wolf Empress. The official description reads, trapped in a parallel universe, Rose Tyler believed her adventures with the Doctor were over. Now pulled by mysterious energy into this reality, she must work with the two Doctors to end the tyrannical rule of the warmongering Bad Wolf Empress. That's a pretty cool cover, actually. Now, if you've watched the show, you know she was trapped in an alternate universe with this sort of clone of the 10th Doctor. So it's interesting that he's not going to be in this, but it'll be Rose and the 8th and 11th Doctor. The series will be created by scribe Jody Hauser, mediocre. Illustrated by Roberta Ingranata and colorist Enrica Aaron Angolia. Hauser commented on the series, stating it's always been a blast to dig deeper. I don't care. So the 8th Doctor is seeing the Bad Wolf paint. Feature variant covers, don't care. First issue November 3rd. Wow, that's a stunning reveal. Look at that. That's fantastic. So this actually could be good. Jody Hauser's pretty hit and miss, but the concept's cool, and this cover looks neat. So if you like Rose Tyler, this might be up your alley. He was in the TV movie they did in the U.S., and he was in the first couple of minutes of, was it Night of the Doctor? I think it was called. It was a little like 10-minute thing where they show his regeneration into the War Doctor. So that was, he actually looked really cool in that sequence, and he's been doing a lot of audio books for the BBC, and forget what the company's name is that does the audio books. So he's been doing a lot of those, and they're pretty good. I've listened to a few of them. Doctor Who Cares? That's pretty much where it is now. But at least it's not the girl doctor in this, like I was afraid of. Eccleston was really good as the Doctor. Yeah, I liked him. It's a shame he only lasted one time. The one season wasn't enough for him. All right, so in DC news, wait, what's this? I preferred Donna Noble. She was every woman is a champion. I kind of hated her, actually. She was kind of a mixed bag, and the Dr. Donna thing I thought was a little dragged out, but she was okay. I much preferred Perry from the Sixth Doctor's run as far as like just the every woman. All right, according to Variety, DC characters are coming to webcomics through a new deal with Webtoon. Kind of talked about this a little bit the other day. DC superheroes will be featured in several upcoming webcomic series through a new deal with Warner Media's DC Entertainment and Webtoon. Under the agreement, DC and Webtoon, owned by South Korean internet company Naver, will collaborate on standalone webcomics that will appeal to all fans without the need to know or read any previous stories. Who doesn't know who Batman is? Who doesn't know who Superman is? At this point, Wonder Woman as well. For now, however, DC and Webtoons aren't divulging any details about the project emerging from the stable of DC superheroes, which includes Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman. Yeah, we all know who they are. DC is excited to introduce our iconic characters to a new generation of fans worldwide. DC Comics SVP and GM Daniel Cherry III said in a statement, Cherry's the one that's been pushing the woke crap in DC Comics. Yeah, it is pretty much going to be dog shit. You're not wrong, EVS. Thanks for coming. This channel sucks. Yeah, well, that's life. He said in a statement he added, DC's been working closely with the Webtoon writers and artists to adapt their characters and stories to Webtoon's mobile format. Yeah, they're going to screw this up like they've been screwing up every other thing that they've been doing. this looks like a Hail Mary pass from DC, and I'm not surprised that they're looking this desperate. But yeah, they're talking about webcomics comprising 50 to 60 episodes per season, which is normally 50 to 70 panels presented in vertical scroll format. I don't think DC Comics are going to adapt well to this format. It says it's Comic Artist Pro Secrets, so that's Ethan Van Sciver, if that's accurate. So, yeah, I don't know why he's trolling my tiny channel, but whatever. Let him alone. Dog Welder comic. Yeah, I don't think this is going to work the way DC wants it to work. It's just not going to... They're making a lot of stupid plays as it is with all the stupid race swapping and nonsense like that. So, yeah, it's just a lazy effort to try and grab new audiences instead of changing what they're doing into going back to more classic storytelling and more interesting stuff. Instead, they're going to double down on the woke crap and put out what amounts to like really lazy comic strips in newspapers. So it is what it is. All right. Let's talk about the latest rumor. This is from Cosmic Book News. Captain America 4 is a go with Anthony Mackie. Yay, just what I didn't want. Following news that blah, blah, blah. It's reported that by deadline that Anthony Mackie has closed a deal to star in the flick through Disney and Marvel, has yet to announce anything official. Details also include Captain America 4 will be co-written by Falcon Winter Soldier head writer Malcolm Spellman. You know, the show that did nothing but do the whole Black Lives Matter thing through 90% of the show. Ugh. It's previously reported by Dallin Moosin, a staff writer at Disney Plus Marvel series, will also serve as the other co-writer, but this report makes no mention of Mussin. No directors attached yet. It's unknown if Sebastian Stan will star as the Winter Soldier. Yeah, I'm not surprised. To do other possibilities include Wyatt Russell's John Walker, etc. They're just guessing now. But it looks like we're getting Captain America 4 in 2023 or later. So he's going to be Captain America because they hate people, the lighter skin tone. Tomorrow you better ask me why I was trolling your stream. I don't really care why you're trolling my stream, dude. You love SJWs? Cool. Sorry, man. I don't know. Don't know what you're talking about at all. I'm not going over to your stream to ask you that. I got other stuff to do. It'd be a waste of time and whatever, man. You can hang out if you want. I don't care. Just be sure and hit the like button. And hey, Lesser. Yeah, I'm glad to have people here, even if they disagree with me. So you're welcome to hang out and watch the show. And there's my Streamlabs if you want to make a donation. Yeah, I do have to sleep tomorrow. And I'm going to the comic shop tomorrow. I got to get my comics. I'm supposed to get a Zorro book that I ordered. I'm really excited to get it. Yeah, share the stream out. Poop. Cool. Cool. All right. Let's see here. How about some Star Trek nonsense? It's from Bounding into Comics. Star Trek Voyager actor Tim Russ claims Americans who believe in a religion are just as fanatical as the Taliban. Well, somebody's career is dying, so they need attention. Weighing in on the recent and disastrous withdrawal of American forces from Afghanistan. No understatement. Way to undersell that. Actor Tim Russ, perhaps best known for playing Tuvok on Voyager, trash, has equated the faith of Americans who believe in religion to the violent religious fanaticism of the Taliban. Wow, you're so edgy in the 80s, Mr. Russ. Taking on his personal Twitter account on August 16th, just a few days after whatever. Russ asserted the Taliban are as fanatical about their beliefs and culture as millions of people right here in the U.S. who believe in religion, conspiracy theory, and alternate reality. But string theory is a legitimate theory, so alternate realities are a possibility. You can go screw yourself, you has been. Conspiracy theories, who doesn't love a good conspiracy theory? I can't prove there aren't reptilians inside the hollow earth or the hollow moon. Religion, whatever, you can believe whatever you want. Welcome to America. Go away, commie. Well, it appears that Russ is deriding a hypothetical individual who believes in just one of those tenets. Is also likely he's lashing out specifically against those who not only support President Trump, but also position themselves as pro-life in regards to debate surrounding abortion. That such a specific group is the target of Russ's condemnation is evidenced by the actor's own social media history, in which he can be regularly seen taking swings at the Christian right. Wow, you're so edgy. Look, see, monkey. In November 2019, in a now deleted Twitter discussion of abortion, of which Russ's tweet is the only post still live. Wow, that's pathetic. The actor told an assumedly Christian user that you need to get down off your high Christian high horse about the unborn. Your high holy Christian high horse. That is not good writing, dude. Like, you don't put high twice in the same sentence. That is just lazy. Just lazy. Likewise, earlier in the same year, in response to former White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders' assertion that God wanted Donald Trump to become president, Russ declared that America already has Sharia law, Christian Sharia law. That's not how that works. Sharia is specifically a Muslim thing. You can't have like Shinto Sharia. That's not a thing that exists. It's not cut and paste applicable to everything. Oh my God, your religion ignorance is amazing. I don't know any Christians running around forcing people to comply with like, don't eat shellfish, no blended fabrics. Nobody does that. Calm down, Tim, and get a job. Maybe they'll help you if you get a Burger King job, and then you'll be occupied. Yeah, who exactly? So whatever, man. Tim Russ, you fucking has been. Go get something to do, a hobby, maybe knitting, maybe get a cat. I don't know. Do something that doesn't involve Twitter because you're stupid and you're acting silly. And this is probably all the attention you deserve. Shintoria? That sounds made up. All right. On to some more silliness. This also comes from Bounding Into Comics. The Dune director, the new one, not the old one, he's dead. Denis Villeneuve comes out in support of Scarlett Johansson's lawsuit against Disney. That's a terrible picture of him. He looks like he farted and got caught. Johansson filed a suit against Disney that claims Disney intentionally and improperly induced Marvel to breach its agreement by releasing Black Widow on Disney Plus simultaneously with its release in theaters. Yeah, we all know that. She says they acted with malice, oppression, or fraud in a willful disregard for her rights and interests. Yeah, she's seeking money and punitive damages. Yeah, your movie sucked, okay? Just accept it. Marvel Phase 4 blows. Let's just accept it and move on. Speaking with French magazine Le Presse, the Dune director revealed his support for Johansson. Using Google Machines translation, Villeneuve, whatever his name is, stated, "What would happen if the opposite happened and we did not respect the contracts we signed on our side?" He continued, "In addition, it is wrong to believe that cinema on the big screen is not doing well, but this industry is on a roller coaster ride, which is at odds with Wall Street's desire for stability. And these platforms subscriptions provide studios with fixed income. I have nothing against platforms, quite the contrary. They are an extraordinary tool to give us access to the memory of cinema." Yeah, he's not entirely wrong here, but a film career must begin with the big screen first. That's probably, unfortunately, not the reality of the situation. I like the movie theater experience, except for when You go and there's a lot of other people there that want to talk on their phone. I go on like Sunday morning when I go to the movie theater, or try to, so I can avoid all the people that are going to talk on their phones or sit there and babble to their friend because they're not awake yet. From now on, I will also contractually require my films to be released exclusively in theaters. That's pretty cool, but that's more for his financial benefit than anything else because he gets that back end deal. Back in 2020, he penned an op-ed in Variety where he blasted Warner Brothers' decision to release Dune on HBO Max at the same time the film would be released in theaters. He said, "With this decision, AT&T has hijacked one of the most respectable and important studios in film history. This is absolutely no love for cinema, nor the audience there. It's all about the survival of the telecom mammoth, one that is currently bearing an astronomical debt of more than $150 billion. He's not wrong. Well, unfortunately, what they're doing with a lot of these streaming services is they're making content. They're not making films. They're not making anything that they want to be remembered in 50 years. They just want things to take up space. Oh, your work's done? Oh, cool, man. Well, have fun. You can hang out and watch if you want. Yeah, I figured it's probably another spectral account, but whatever. I don't care. Viewer's a viewer. So later in the op-ed, he wrote, "I strongly believe the future of cinema will be on the big screen no matter what any Wall Street dilettante says. It's artsy bullshit. Since the dawn of time, humans have deeply needed communal storytelling experiences." Yeah, I think that is a big part of it too. So him showing a little bit of love is not necessarily in so much solidarity with her as it is his own financial investment. But, good on him for kind of stating the obvious that movie theaters should hang around. Unfortunately, we've become a much more divisive society, and people have no decorum anymore. So, yeah, it's not helpful for the loss of movie theaters for the shared experience, but it's also not helpful to have a bunch of people in the audience that are going to babble on or fuck around on their phones and be annoying. So I don't know what that's all about, but it's annoying. And people need to learn a little bit of common decorum and shame those. Some theaters do kick people out for that, but I hate it when people take phone calls and like, "Oh my God, girl, you won't believe what just happened on the screen." And then they repeat exactly what just happened. That drives me up a damn wall, especially as much as the ticket costs are now. I'm not paying $20 to listen to some jackass talk on their phone. I could go outside and listen to a homeless guy rant for free. Now let's get into some funny news from Variety. All right, you guys remember that Birds of Prey movie that came out a while ago? They had Misha Green and Journey Smollett. I threatened a person who tried that next to me once. Yeah, dude, I'm not surprised. So check this out. Misha Green and Journey Smollett are developing Birds of Prey spin-off movie focused on Black Canary for HBO Max. Like I said, they're making content, not cinema. Look, she's an okay actress as far as I'm concerned. That movie sucked ass, and most of the people looked like they were bored in it and they knew they were in a bad movie. But she's not Black Canary. She don't look anything like Black Canary. And she wasn't very interesting in the role because she looked bored. Lovecraft Country and Underground creator Misha Green and Journey Smollett are teaming up for a third project, taking Smollett's Birds of Prey character Black Canary on a new adventure in her own standalone film. The project is a development for HBO Max. Smollett confirmed the news on Twitter. Guess the canary is out of the cage. Wow. Yes, I got their names mixed up. My bad. Yeah, this chick was an okay actress, but I don't care. Lovecraft Country, wasn't that based on a comic book or a novel? But yeah, Misha Green and Journey Smollett, I'm sure they're fine. I haven't seen Lovecraft Country. I heard it's pretty good. But it only lasted like one season. Last year, they teased their interest in teaming up for a Black Canary project, although Black Canary is white. telling Variety that they used to compete in the DCEU fighting video game Injustice 2, with Green choosing to play Black Canary, the alter ego of songstress Dinah Lance. In an interview, Green said that Smollett landing the role in 2020 movie Birds of Prey and the absolute fantabulous emancipation of one Harley Quinn, directed by Kathy Yan, felt like fate. I would just do the Canary scream to win all the time. I don't care. So they're going to make this probably with a lot of racial nonsense thrown in for fun. And again, we get another race-swapped character. So, oh boy, more trash. Content, not film. No, it's not Jussie. I think they might be related, but I'm not sure. She's still hot. That's something that's true. It'd be funny if Jussie Smollett was in it. DC needs to focus on comics here. Planning rebooting Justice League make me lose the little interest I had. Yeah, they are doing everything they can to chase out old fans in search of phantom ones. Hey, Johnny. Hey, Tony. Sorry, I missed a few people there. Anthrax, how's it going, man? Road Dog got here late, started at the beginning. Nice. Oh, well, welcome aboard. Hey, Della. They are related. I was thinking it was a sister. Novel written by a white guy about the racist 50s with Lovecraft stuff. That's what I thought. Thank you, Tyrai. Now, if Bob Dole was playing Black Canary, I'd watch the shit out of that. But yeah, I really have no interest in that. That Birds of Prey movie was dog shit. All right, let's talk about Hollywood for a second. This is from the Hollywood Reporter. Hollywood's China box office hopes dim as fewer tentpoles get releases. China films have reaped record earnings at their country's theatrical box office in 2021, but Hollywood ticket revenue in the Middle Kingdom remains mostly in doldrums. Now, an outbreak of the Delta Coof, rampant piracy, shocker in China, rampant piracy, what? And unpredictable political challenges are clouding the picture for the U.S. film industry's hopes at the end of the year comeback in China, which have emerged from the Coof as the world's largest theatrical marketplace by far. Chinese language films have not only recovered from the darkest days of the Coof when taken in aggregate, but are performing better than ever before. Local titles led by huge hits like Beijing Culture's Hi Mom, 822 million, and bona fide groups Chinese Doctors, 197 million. That's probably a knockoff ER. Collectively earned 3.9 billion at China's box office from January 1 to July 31st. Considerably better than pre-Coof benchmark years of 2018 and 2019, when sales for the same period totaled 3.8 billion and 2.9 billion respectively. Hollywood imports have achieved little of the same recovery in China, however. In 2021, imported U.S. studio films earned just 700 million as of July 30, down 66% compared to 2019, 61% from 2018. Overall, China's annual box office is down 15% during the first 7 months of 2021, with declining sales for Hollywood products comprising nearly all of the shortfall. The biggest problem, analysts say, is simply a dearth of product. Releasing delays related to the Coof resulted in a scant few U.S. movies hitting Chinese screens during the first half of the year. As Beijing film regulators usually black out on foreign film releases during the peak summer movie-going period, has been stricter and longer than usual in deference to this year's politically high-profile 100th anniversary of the founding of the Chinese Communist Party. Yet they're giving favoritism to their own, of course. The last U.S. movie to open in China was Sony's Peter Rabbit 2, which earned 30 million. That's pathetic. That is absolutely pathetic. You probably would have made more in Lithuania. The only Hollywood movie granted a release date since is Pixar's Luca, scheduled for August 20th. The backlog of tentpoles awaiting release in China's summer blackout on Hollywood winds down include Black Widow, Jungle Cruise, Free Guy, Space Jam, Suicide Squad, Disney and Marvel's rapidly approaching Shang Chi, and Legend of the Ten Rings. That movie's going to bomb. It'll be the same way Mulan bombed. The Chinese audiences, if you look on YouTube, you can find man on the street interviews that some places have been doing with Chinese people, showing them the trailer. They say it looks like pandering. They said the same thing in Japan about Snake Eyes. But the Chinese audiences hated Mulan for that reason. They said it was just lazy pandering. By Zoo pandering. Yeah. See, the rare U.S. tentpoles that have opened in China this year have demonstrated the Chinese audience, regardless, that's not a word, of growing nationalist sentiment in the country, remain ready to embrace effects-heavy spectacles. I doubt that. Godzilla vs. Kong earned a healthy $135 million in China in March, followed by Fast and Furious 9, which pulled in $203 million. Remember, John Cena had to go apologize to China for calling Taiwan a country, which it is. Yeah, LeBron's commie pandering doesn't help ever. Fuck them, way too many conditions to get in that market. Yeah, and then they take the lion's share of the cut because you have to team with them. Hey, Monkey, how you doing, man? Then they're blaming the Coof, and now they're blaming the Delta. I read over this earlier. The Eternals is gonna tank. If it even gets shown, it might not because it's got some kind of supernatural elements. A lot of the stuff with zombies, undead, and magic are a big no-no in China. Unless they do it, then it's okay. Thanks to controversial strategy of releasing tentpoles simultaneously in cinemas and in in-house streaming services, copies of Black Widow, Space Jam, Suicide Squad, and Jungle Cruise have been available on easy-to-access piracy networks in China for weeks. Yeah, China has this crazy thing all through Southeast Asia. If you want to find a bootleg movie, they sell them at the mall. There's guys with kiosks with just stacks and reams of discs, $5 a piece, $10 a piece. If it's a brand new movie, maybe 20, and it'll just be pirated. Further darkening the earnings outlook, Disney consistently the most successful U.S. studio in China must contend with murky political challenges for its two remaining superhero movies. Franchise consistently bankable in China so far. Yeah, so you get the idea. The lady that's directing Eternals is a non-person in China. Her name is Chloe Zhao. She got unpersoned by the Chinese government, so the movie may not even get released there. So there's a good possibility they'll deny it based on that. And that would really hurt Disney because they are banking on that sweet, sweet China money, which has never come about. All right, our final article is the Kickstarter's new comics czar turns her back on comic creators. This has been big news lately. I called her a Commissar because that's really what it is. They fired the last one because she was part of that unionization effort, and keeping too many people out, it cost them a ton of money. RJ Carter at Critical Blast has learned some shocking news from indie comics creators that use Kickstarter to crowdfund their comic book projects. This is startling and somewhat disturbing. Nobody should be surprised by this. This is from Bleeding Fool, by the way. For the past few years, Kickstarter and Indiegogo have been more than just competing platforms for crowdfunding comic book projects. The division of choice between the two has ranged from preference of user interfaces to different ways they collect funds from backers. Now, for some, the choice is almost a religious fervor, with creators recalling how Kickstarter removed certain projects in the past with perceived capriciousness. That's absolutely true. I've been hearing that from a lot of people that are not involved in Comicsgate, that their product just was not acceptable and they got booted. It's a sentiment that lingers to such a degree that independent comics professional John Malin ruffled many feathers recently, announcing he would not be very open to hosting creators on his podcast if the creators were using Kickstarter on their platform. I've heard that EVS has said the same thing, that you can't really be Comicsgate without using just Indiegogo. So if you're on Kickstarter, you're going to be kind of pseudo blackballed. So it doesn't surprise me Malin said this. Almost as if to underscore Malin's point, the announcement was made today that Kickstarter had a new comics consultant, Jamila Rouser, who announced the following on Twitter. Big news on Kickstarter's new comics consultant, Kickstarter was one of the reasons I felt I even had a chance in making comics the way I wanted to make them, and I can't wait to help other creators. Good luck to the other creators in reaching Rouser. As many comics creators and comics journalists, including Critical Blast, discovered, Rouser comes to Kickstarter with a Twitter account already pre-blocking innumerable independent creators. She's blocking people that are weird choices, too. The blocking occurs on such a widespread scale that it would be unlikely that many of them were done personally. Rather, it appears Rouser's implementing a blacklist type procedure where a Twitter user could choose to block a person, and subsequently, anyone who follows that person is followed by that person. So yeah, if you follow somebody she doesn't like, you're blocked. So I'm shockingly not blocked by this person, but I've seen a lot of indie creators that I follow saying they are blocked, and that's pretty surprising. The impact on the company is overwhelmingly negative, both in terms of having a reachable customer base and in public perception. Indie comics publisher Alterna Comics recognized the potential damage of such policies early on. And Peter Smetty, the publisher, issued a corporate edict prohibiting creators from implementing such blockchains. And he caught total shit for that. Yeah, she did, evil one. I'm not blocked by her, no, Viking. Malin is a major name. Not as much as he used to be, but yeah, he's a major name in the Comicsgate community. Yeah, I usually earn my blocks. But yeah, this lady's been blocking people that are like microscopic, but they probably follow the wrong people. I understand why she probably blocked people like that Umbrella Guy and EVS and Malin. But some of the people I've been seeing complaining that they're blocked, they're literal nobodies. They make $500 on their Kickstarter, stuff like that. Meanwhile, Rouser also supports blacklisting comic creators from conventions as well. This was posted to her Twitter when legendary comics creator Frank Miller was canceled. It reads, all festivals and cons need to think twice about who they invite as special guests. A quick Google search will let you know that if a person is a bigot and will make your event unsafe for others. You create these D&I policies, but don't do the bare minimum to uphold them. Yeah, so she's pro-cancel culture as well. Her autobiography is crazy, too. She finally protected her tweets, which is just the exact opposite of what you should do, too. Maybe just unblock people. Doug Ernst, he doesn't care. He's doing just fine on his own. He's working with Iconic Comics, doing his Soul Finder stuff, which is pretty good. I should do a review on those eventually. So I think he'll be fine. And so will some of the others. That Umbrella Guy's making most of his money over on Indiegogo. He made like $100,000 off his last book, so I'm sure he's okay, unless he pissed it away. But did she block Mr. T? I don't know. That's a good question. Frank Miller, man, who actually sold the comic book, doesn't need you. Yeah, right? Like, Frank Miller could sell a comic book in his sleep. He doesn't need her. But the fact that she's blocking people that probably follow him or that are fans of his or fans of somebody that she doesn't like, that's a problem for Kickstarter. And that means that she's going to play politics with who can and can't have a Kickstarter. So she's not just going to be blocking people on Twitter. She's going to be affecting their livelihoods and their ability to produce something. So, oh, she did block Mr. T? Oh, that's disgusting. Unsafe for others, new speak for I don't like that person. Yep, you're not unsafe because you don't like someone. So yeah, it's pretty disgusting what's going on over at Kickstarter. They're falling back into their old SJW routine. Not like they ever really left it, but at least some people were getting their works over there. And I understand people doing their book on both. Like if you wanted the She Omnibus, it was on Kickstarter and Indiegogo with different exclusive covers. And that's fine. That's just good marketing. But to block people because you don't like them, that's pretty shitty. That you should be focused on making money. That's what business is. You don't have to like that. That's just the way it works. And Kickstarter's not doing that well compared to Indiegogo. They had a string of layoffs last year before. And I bet they'll have another one in another year because they're going to run out of venture capital. So, yeah, I don't know. But that's not looking good for Kickstarter. And I've backed plenty of Kickstarter books over the years and games. I stopped backing games because they just don't show up. People just run off with the money. So, yeah, Kickstarter needs to get their act together. But it's going to cost them money, and it's going to really impact the future of a lot of comic creators. So, we'll see how it plays out. Just dropping by to say hi before the stream. Yes, drop your link, Frosted, so that people know where to go. Because I'm about to check out of here and have a little pee break and then join you on your stream. Mainland only didn't allow Kickstarters on his channel to promote their book because they didn't want them tainted with CG. Well, they won't let a lot of CG stuff over there anyway. But I think it's a bad idea to ban people from your channel for that. But he does whatever he wants, his channel. I just think it's a mistake. There's a lot of good books that I've found on Kickstarter. So I don't have a problem supporting a good Kickstarter project that isn't racially tinged. Like Operation Eclipse and what was the other one? There's Dragonfly was pretty good. I read that one. I didn't back that one, but I read it. That was pretty good. So there's some good Kickstarters out there too that maybe they don't know about Indiegogo or they're just not up with the times. But to block people based on where they're getting their fundraising from, I think that's a bit preemptive. I would want to check out their work first. But all right, I got to get going and hustle over to Frosted's channel. He dropped the link there. As always, I want to thank everybody for coming out and supporting the show. And even fake EVS that was here earlier. And be sure and like, share, and subscribe. All that happy stuff. Here's a link to one of my latest videos. And I'll give you a link to another video that if you get a chance, check them out. See what you think. Leave a like. You know the drill. You guys are awesome. As always, thank you all for coming. And we hope to see you on the next one. Good night, everybody.